Hey everybody, this is B. Harper from supermousy.com and Jesus Loves Winners. Drop Dead Gorgeous. Drop Dead Gorgeous, to the best of my memory, was released back in 1999. And it was received with very little, if no fanfare. In my experience, I had heard of the film, I had seen it being advertised on television, and possibly I saw a couple of trailers at the cinema. But I never saw the film, and within a month of hearing about it, it was basically yanked from the screens and it wasn't spoken of again. It was like a little speck of dust being swept underneath the rug to make way for the bigger, more prominent releases at the time. Now, critics and the fan of the film alike have argued as to whether or not the film arrived at an appropriate time, or rather, if it did, were the people ready for it? And the short answer to that is no. A really big, fat no. Drop Dead Gorgeous is a scintillating, vicious, venomous, volatile satire at its finest. A lot of its power comes from the script. It comes from the words, and the actors in the film are the ones who are the personification of the characters that are in the script. Although the film had quite a few famous faces, such as Kirsten Dunst, Denise Richards, Kirstie Alley, Ellen Barkin, the always fabulous Alison Janney, the film was kind of rather anonymous. It was very quickly forgotten about as time went on, and those who did see the film either didn't get it, that didn't get that it was a satire, or they got it, but they just didn't find it funny. They didn't find it to, how they like their satires, so to speak. So as time has gone on, and as a cult film tends to do, it gains an audience, and within about 15 or so years of its release, it's now finally found its niche and found a rather respectable following. So a little bit of backstory for Drop Dead Gorgeous. Lona Williams, who wrote the script, is a survivor, if you will, of the beauty pageant. And Drop Dead Gorgeous takes place in the fictional Minnesota town Mount Rose, where there's like an annual sort of Miss Teen Princess beauty pageant. And the film takes the form of a mockumentary and follows all these characters as they get ready for the pageant. But, as we all find out, the pageant is under very shady circumstances, considering quite a few of the contestants are killed off. As I said, I didn't see this film when it came out. I actually recently saw this movie like 2 or so years ago, and only because it was available in the video section at the local library. If you look around these days, you will not find that many video stores, or rather DVD stores, if you will, that carry this movie. I've tried to find it online, but it doesn't. The links don't work. There's no Blu-ray. This film has pretty much gone so far underneath the waves, so to speak, that you really have to dig deep. And it was only through, dumb luck that I was able to come across it. So when I watched the film, I was so entertained. That's the thing about Drop Dead Gorgeous. It's so wrong in the story it tells and the characters it involved, but it feels so right. It's like when you go to a buffet that is serving you fried Oreos and steamed dolphin meat. There's just an instinct for you not to go there. There's a moral compass in you that says, please do not, eat food from that table. But some part of you is curious and you want to see this. You want to experience it. Well, with Drop Dead Gorgeous, it involves young people dying. Like, it involves teenagers dying, teenage girls who are taking part in a beauty pageant. And for all intents and purposes, in any other film, like, it would be more displayed as like a dramatic tragedy. But in Drop Dead Gorgeous, it's all part of the statement that the film is making. Like, let's face it, beauty pageants are an exercise in absurdity and insulting our intelligence. You don't need a scholar to tell you that a beauty pageant is a complete waste of time, space, and, human power that are put behind it. It's ridiculous. And Lona Williams, as I said, based a lot of her own experiences as a beauty pageant contestant to make this film. And the way she just exaggerates and commits so much hyperbole into what she writes, it is absurd, but in a sense it is also quite tangible, because we have all seen some sort of feature backstage of these beauty contests that you see the competitive edge, you see the hatred, you see the cattiness. And Drop Dead Gorgeous emphasizes this to an enormous degree. But that's no small thing in part to the very good script, as well as the actors in the movie. As I stated earlier, not everybody in this film is what you would call like an A-lister by common standards, but all of them, if not most of them, deliver like good, entertaining and engaging performances. The most surprising being Denise Richards as like the bitchy beauty pageant contestant, who also happens to be the daughter of one of the organisers, played by Kirstie Alley. Denise Richards is incredibly beautiful. She still is, and that's what mainly has shaped her career. Is that she's beautiful. She's not the best actress, and I'm trying to be charitable here. But as Rebecca Lehman, this character in Drop Dead Gorgeous, she's just so fake. She's just so bitchy and mean and just so snarky. But it works for her. And, I'm going to give a little bit of the film away, but, okay, spoiler alert. During the beauty contest itself, during the talent portion, Rebecca does a very tone-deaf rendition of I Can't Take My Eyes Off You, with a figure of Jesus Christ crucified on the cross on wheels, while she is wearing a 1950s, dancer girl outfit. You're just like, as this whole phenomenon is taking place in front of you, it's so beautifully, bluntly blasphemous and holy pun intended shit. It's awesome. So there has to be some sort of insanity to do a performance like that, and Richards sells it. Speaking about the rest of the cast, you have Kirsten Dunst as the sweetie pie good girl character. She is who you follow throughout the film, and you see her being threatened by all these beauty queens being knocked down like dominoes, but her perseverance and her talent is like what gets her through. But here's the twist. This film, being a satire, looks at how mercenary and mercurial success truly is. In the case of the beauty pageant, obviously Rebecca wins because her mother is an authority in the contest, but a lot of success stories tend to come from some sort of idealistic point of view. Like, it's something that we want to see. It's a fantasy. But Drop Dead Gorgeous subverts that. The good girl does not get what she deserves, but the bad girl does. Or at least that's what happens in the first part of the movie. The whole film is a very scathing point of view about how sometimes, even when you deserve success, you don't always get it. And that is just a fact of life. Alison Janney's character, Loretta, says she's talking to Amber about how she's a lovely girl and how she deserves to be the winner of the beauty contest, and Kirsten Dunst is like, oh really? And Loretta's like, oh no sweetie, it's all bullshit, you're very fucking lucky. This script is what it's all about. the whole story is about how cruel and unfair life is, but at the same time, it's incredibly hilarious. When you see all these archetypes being played out by all of these actors, one way or another, you can connect them to reality, no matter how heightened it is. The rest of the cast is fantastic. You have Ellen Barkin as Annette Atkins, who is Amber's trailer trash mother. She's just so delightfully, bold and brassy. Kirstie Alley, she's a lunatic. I'll definitely say that. Originally, the character was supposed to be played by Sigourney Weaver, and in my opinion, Sigourney Weaver would have been very sort of composed and a lot more cold and calculating. But Ali just the horse has already bolted from that pen and is wreaking bloody havoc. It's an experience, I'll say that much. And then you have quite a few of the supporting actors. Now, I don't remember them all by name, and I apologise. But Will Sasso plays a cognitively impaired co-owner of a hardware store. And his father also happens to be another judge of the pageant. The way Sasso plays the character, it's not a stereotype. It is not like a cruel piss take on, those who are mentally challenged. It is genuine. Despite all of what this film is all about, it's got a sense of sincerity where it counts. And Sasso playing this character, who gets quite liberally called a retard by... I don't like saying that word. He gets called a retard by all these other characters in the film. And that's another thing. This film is offensive. It is so crude, it's so offensive, and that's what a lot of critics took umbrage with. To which I say, well, yes, this movie is supposed to offend you. It's supposed to make you think. It's supposed to make you, see just how stupid the whole thing about beauty pageants and beauty contests are. I love it. And Brittany Murphy and Amy Adams show up in rather early roles. If I'm not mistaken, this was Amy Adams' first cinematic debut, and she is fantastic. Her character is very sort of promiscuous, but she's also a sweetheart. She's a tart with a heart, as the moniker would say. And Brittany Murphy's character is pretty much stoned throughout all the movie. She's constantly cracking up and laughing inappropriately, but she's a delight to watch. And Shannon Williams, who plays another beauty contestant, she's just so out of place. She's not physically beautiful in the teen pageant sense, and that's what makes her character stand out. She's not supposed to be here, but here she is being forced into this ridiculous institution. It's fantastic. So I say you have to check out Drop Dead Gorgeous. You really got to have a look around for it. But I can guarantee you, when you watch this film, and bearing in mind that it is supposed to be satirical, it's not meant to be taken seriously whatsoever, it is a damn good movie, and I highly recommend it. The cult audience it is built up, it is well deserved, but I'm so glad this film is getting the recognition that it strives for, finally. So yes, Drop Dead Gorgeous is 4 out of 5 from me, and I shall see you all on the flip with another LGBT horror review. See you later. Mwah!